Bro, I see you with the authentic. It's disappointing about that, though, man. I
Hey,
thought that
now
dude
I
would
want the
be great.
Hakeem too. I want the dream.
Yeah,
I want the dream
that
too.
dude has so much talent. Dog, I ain't gonna say Vince under shit. I ain't gonna say Vince underachieved, but I think that boy a hell of
He could. Hey,
a
for real, for real, for real, for real.
Let's get it.
It's not bullshit, okay? It's real talk, it's facts.
What up? What up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Debate with Bait podcast, brought to you by Most Serious Entertainment at MostSerious.com. That's right. We are back at it, the sports center of Most Serious Entertainment, the place where you should come to get your sports entertainment, not only the latest news, but the greatest debates. We talk about things that you probably think about at the water cooler at work, but you're just too scared to talk about it, and we break it down. Shout out to my man Chuck, the man behind the mic, the man behind the computer, the man behind the keyboard, all of that. The CEO of Most Serious, man. Shout out to all the rest of the podcasts on Most Serious, Most City Podcast, Guns Down, Gloves Up with Dr. Johnny Binder and Dr. Candace Matthews. Did I say Dr. Johnny Binder? I'm going to call him a doctor, man. You know what I'm saying? What's up, JB, man? I see you out there putting it down. But shout out to all of y'all, man. And we back in it, man. We back in it, episode 40, season 2. That's right. We got 40 episodes on season 2, and we looking forward to doing season 3. That's right. That's right. That's right, man. Shout out to my man all the way in NY. You know what I'm saying? He cut out on me, last week. Me and Ro was in here holding it down. But, sometimes, man, when they can't debate with the real ones, man, they cut out. But as you can see, that's the problem, man. He got on that Adidas hat, and he wearing it like it's a Nike hat. But, you can't tell, man. You can't tell because, when you live in New York City, man, you got the opportunity to switch between the Jets and the Giants. You got the opportunity to be a Mets fan. Then you can turn around and be a Yankees fan because you got two teams in every sport. But the man is back. The man thought we was on vacation to the football season. I can't be mad at him. He misunderstood us. But what's up, Cole? Over there looking like my man off the wire.
What's good, man? Trying to get back into the flow of things, man. I'm glad to be back though. Missed last week's episode, but like always, it's a good one, But New York back in the building, man. Recognize.
That's right, man. That's right. It must feel good, man. Y'all got 2 training camps going on up there. You got the Jets, who you roll with. You got the Giants, man. What's the sentiment in New York right now? Is everybody football crazy?
They laughing at Danny Dimes, Danny Nichols over there, missing open people in training camp. But we happy about the Jets. We had a little run-in with Wilson and Rodgers, who were arguing a little bit, but it's nothing. Receivers get sensitive out there, but we looking good. He's been finishing, almost 100% on all the drives, 7 on 7s, 11 on 11s, and so forth, man. The New York Jets is going to be something to watch this year, man. The Giants, on the other hand,
I see you got your jet green on, man.
Giants, on the other hand, though, they probably trying to get Shedeur Sanders this year, looking for the number 1 pick, man.
I know that's right, man. And you know what? It's actually funny that you bring up Shedeur, man, because we got to get into this college football thing this year. In fact, Cole, I was going to tell you this off air. We got to do that idea you talked about with Alabama running back U versus Alabama versus Miami, and then Rowe is going to get something else. But speaking of Rowe, the man that came in on season 2, man, and just added more flavor, more comedy. but most importantly, the man knows his sports, man. Sitting to my left over here, Larry Roski, man. What's going on, Ro?
Man, not too much, my boy. Not too much, man. Happy to be back at it as well, man. It's a thankless job, but we're gonna do something about it. We're gonna try to change all that.
That's right, man. That's right.
They
Ro
gonna appreciate
representing with the Toronto Raptors jersey. I think that was. Do you think that was Vince's best project in the NBA? Was that when he was at this height of his powers? Was it Toronto?
Yeah,
I would say probably so.
He jacked that neat flavor. He was like the human highlight.
Yeah,
you know, half man, half amazing.
That's right.
Vinsanity. You know, they were in a nickname craze when that came about. So,
I tell you what, man, he made me pay attention to the Raptors, man. I mean, I tried with Stoudemire, but it didn't work. But anyway, you can call in, ladies and gentlemen. You can call in at 281-969-8190. You can also hit that like button, subscribe, come back to us because we always come back to you. And as the football season linking up, and Chuck, I hope I have your permission to say this, but Underdog Fantasy need to get with us, man.
Hey, look, we about to regroup some things anyway, and so I was just telling JT earlier about how the rebirth gonna come with a bag. Like we gotta make it come with a bag. And so Underdog, get ready, man. Football season coming.
Thursday.
Second half of the WNBA coming. You got
college football
coming. We got the look in a minute. In a minute, we're gonna be really deep into our NBA game, right?
That's right.
So you fall when we here for you know it.
That's right.
And so that'll be right around the end of the Olympics. So
that's right, man. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, man. Give us that bag. We've been riding with y'all. We've been winning. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to
the
y'all.
Boxers. Come on with the boxers, Underdog. We do a lot of boxing talk on here.
Exactly.
It'd be cool if we could bet on them some.
Exactly.
I don't be seeing them all on there. I be seeing them every few within. So come on with the boxers. Work that out.
Yes, especially the Tankomaniacs that be on this show. Shout out to my man JT and Cole. I consider them Tankomaniacs. You know what I'm saying? They always rolling with Tank. I can't get mad at them. But we do need Tank on Underdog Fantasy because regardless of what they believe, I do think Tank Davis is one of the best boxers. Not the best boxer in the game, but I'm definitely not a Tankomaniac. But anyway, let's get into it, man. We got the NFL offseason. Shout out to my man JT, who's actually in the studio. You know what I'm saying? He filming on the side, but as you can see, he's a part of the Tankomania. And I love the Tankomania, man. You know what I'm saying? I love being right about the Tankomania. But shout out to all my Tankomaniacs, Javante Tank Davis, aka Abdul Wahib, putting it down for Baltimore. All right, let's get into it, man. Since we are talking about the NFL, and this is my favorite part of the season between now and Christmas, training camp. But I got a couple of topics here. Some current news, a couple of, I call them debate with bait topics where we actually sit down and ask those questions. Who do you think is better than this? What do you think about that? But let's start with topic number one. Current news, Packers quarterback Jordan Love has agreed to a 4-year extension worth $220 million, which makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history despite only starting one full season. All right, this hit the headlines, and I got to get my co-host opinion. Let's start with Cole. Cole, how do you feel about this extension? And, based on how you feel, give us an analysis of why you think the Packers would do this.
I think this was the perfect extension. I think they paid him at the right time because if he showed out again this year, they look on upwards to maybe 60, 70 million a year. I think that he showed that he's a winning quarterback. I think he's actually showed that he's the first or second best quarterback in the NFC outside of Purdy and Hurts. It's debatable which one of those three is number 1 and 2, but I actually would probably go with Love. I love his accuracy. I love what he did with rookie receivers and second-year receivers, and I just see him only going up from here. Right. So I definitely think they came off, getting that contract at this point in time because any longer, like I said, would have been a lot more money.
And so you think the Packers made a good decision because if his worth goes up, meaning if he plays better this season, that price is going to be a lot more expensive. Never thought about that. Great point. Ro, what you think, man? What did you think when you saw this?
I thought it was appropriate. I mean, I like it. I can't say this inappropriate number is overpaid at all. He definitely got the attention he needs, and then it's like moving forward. in that division. Yeah, it was important that they took that step to go ahead and just be competitive within the division for at least the next 4 years. And I think he really gives them a good opportunity to do that. So, yeah, I ain't had no problem with it at all. You know, it sets precedent where everybody else got to pony up, but I ain't never knocked nobody else hustle. So,
Right. And let me
know.
ask y'all both this. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. My bad. But I mean, is that important as a GM? Because here's the thing. I saw with the Celtics, and I've said this plenty of times, Ro. I'm gonna start with you. I saw with the Celtics. I didn't think that Jaylen Brown was worth $300 million for the Celtics. Talking about him. In the end, it all paid out. And Cole brought up a good point. And so, as a GM, is that what you have to be? Is that one of the things you have to do with young players? Like, if you see something there that you think is possible, can get you to the playoffs or get you to the Super Bowl. Because as you can see at the bottom of my notes, despite only starting after one full season. So I guess that's what you gotta be, right? You gotta be able to forecast. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I used the example of the Celtics. I did not think Jaylen Brown was worth $300 million. Because, and then the thing I said about Jaylen Brown with the Celtics is like, if they paying him $300 million, they gotta be paying Tatum more. But the Celtics had more of an in-depth look at Brown, and so it worked out. They got an NBA championship. They ended up paying Tatum. Yeah. And so I guess, Ro, is that what it is? Like, you got to be able, after one full season, make him the highest paid quarterback. And like Cole said,
and you got to be able to see it, because like you said, I mean, if you don't get ahead of the curve and it costs you more, you hurt an organization a lot more, and then you're going to have to skimp on something else. You just have to be in a position to seize the moment and just really make that appraisal on the fly, really, and just judging on the way and the trajectory of the way the league is trending and what the division is trending like. It's like, because the Bears splash. Y'all gonna have to deal with them boys. You know, I mean, Minnesota thinks they splash. You know, y'all gonna have to deal with them. And so, in addition to all of your fiscal duties in terms of the budgeting and the cap space and cap management and everything like that, you do have to be a little bit of a prognosticator and look down the street and be able to see what's going to happen and be in sync with what the coaching, all the trickle down aspects of it. You have to have all that be in sync. You know what I'm saying, with the vision moving forward to optimize what you got going on. If you're really talking about making a run at it, because all that stuff has to be in place. So.
Right. Now, Cole, let me come back to you, because you said this. You said you thought what he did. You thought his body of work, even though it's only 1 year, you thought his body of work was important for this contract, and you were all for this move. Tell me some of the things that you saw from Love that made you comfortable, specific, that why the Packers did this. What did he show you on the field that justify you getting behind this move by the Packers?
I think the first thing that justifies it is that he's been in their system since Aaron Rodgers was there. So they get to see every single year his progression. They get to see him practice every single day, how he's reading defenses, how accurate he is, how he's leading the team in the huddle, how many people in the locker room that he's galvanizing. But overall, last year when I watched him, it looked like I was watching Aaron Rodgers. I felt like the way that he would throw the ball, the accuracy, the off script throws, all those things were something I was like really like amazed. He looked like a great veteran out there who's played for years. Right. And compared to a lot of other quarterbacks who are getting paid like Cousins and
true, right, the market.
And Carr and all those other quarterbacks, honestly, I think he's far better than all three of those. So and they all get paid top dollar. So
right. And
what's your deal with what's y'all deal with all these old Packer quarterbacks, man? I mean, extrapolate that for your boy, man.
What I think about them?
Yeah. What's exactly the method behind the madness, to say the very least? Behind all these,
you do got you.
All these former Packers, my guy. I don't quite.
I did not draw that connection. He is 100%.
I don't quite understand it. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Brett the other day, which was the most recent debacle. We're gonna say,
He did go to the Jets soon.
That's when the deal hit. Yeah, that's when.
Are they a graveyard, ladies and gentlemen? Call it at 281-969-8190. Roach came up with a theory. Are the New York Jets the graveyard for the Green Bay Packers? Oh, Ro, man. Hey, give me a hand clap for Ro, man. Something, a money sign or something, because, hey, that's why this dude he's one of the top, man. Look, Chuck, we got to put that in the comments. Are the New York Jets the graveyard for the Green Bay Packers? Let's hear from the correspondent from New York. Go ahead, Cole.
I can see where that thought could come into play, but we're gonna see how this year is gonna play out before we say that. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see how this year gonna play out.
Please comment on that in the chat, man. Ro just gave us a discovery, man. Yeah, I think they are the graveyard. I mean, the Titans is the graveyard for the Texans. I mean, all our players go to the Titans. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're the Tennessee uniform.
Exactly. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he got you on that, but I ain't gonna hold your feet to the fire.
I will say that, you know, if they try to be galvanize their career, they want to come to the mecca of entertainment. I totally get it.
Look how he spit it. Look how he spit it, ladies and gentlemen. Look. Oh man. Oh my God.
You went in New York. You solidified yourself in history, man.
That gang green.
Hey, ESPN, don't steal that from us, man. That came from us, man. All right, let's stay with contracts.
And before you move on, that's how we'll know. Lero said that first. That's my first time ever hearing that.
That's why I said it's a discovery, because I'm like, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man.
First take, and it is, and get up, it is, and undisputed, bro. If we hear that line, fam.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. It's like what made me think about it when he said that. I'm like, you know what, 50 said that about Cameron with Koch Records. He was like, Koch. Everybody knows that Koch Records is a graveyard over there for when artists leave. And then it made me think about the Texans and the Titans. All of our players went over there. It's like they go over there to die. You know what I'm saying? Like they finish their career out. You know, so
Ain't
Andre went over there. Hopkins went over there for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a couple of more players I can't name right now. So I'm like, man, roll on to something. Shout out to my man Ro, man. Don't steal that from us. If y'all steal that, y'all better give us credit, man.
Yeah, tag us.
Exactly.
At a minimum.
Exactly. All right, let's stay with contracts. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I hope I get that right, Cole. Someday has agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $212.4 million, including $167 million in guaranteed starts. Let's start with Ro this time first. All right, how do you feel about this, Ro? Do you feel like the Dolphins did the right thing, or is it still questions behind Tua?
I think there should be questions in behind Tua, but yeah, I mean, if you set the current trend, now is not the time necessarily to blow it up with your challenge for the division being so imminent with the gangrene. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all have to kind of keep the ship right, at least throughout the next 4. So it's like keeping him on par. I'm not sure how many years that was for, but keeping him on par like that Jordan Love deal. I mean, it's high. It's on the high end.
4-year deal.
It's a 4-year deal too. It's on the high end, so I'm not mad at him. But it's like at the same time, it's like everybody knows when the rubber meets the road that the Miami Dolphins, unless the road to the Super Bowl goes through Miami and through that stadium, through outdoors and
where it's
warm,
right,
that it's a tremendously limited situation. Which franchise, you got to do a whole lot of soul searching and just try to figure that out. They hitching the wagon to him. I don't really see a better guy you can insert there. Granted, the remaining time, but if they like, they just better be sure. That's all I say. They better be sure. So,
Cole, what you think? What you think about this?
I don't think it's a bad contract considering the fact that it's about league average. So I don't think that it's a bad contract. I think that he's the Embiid of the NFL. He produces during the regular season, and then he was nowhere to be found in the playoffs. But for the most part, he's their best viable option. I think he keeps them in consideration for playoff berths, but I don't think it's ever going to be a championship. And the fact that it's only 167 guaranteed and not the 212,
I saw that.
Considering Love got the whole thing, I think is a good value contract.
And for me, just to add to both of y'all, have great points. Piggybacking a little bit off of Ro. I mean, they've shown me that they're behind this guy. For me, I'm not fully 100% on him, but I can say, like you said, to Cole's point about him being Embiid, it's like when he's been there, they've been productive. And the fact that, see, this is a good thing and bad thing for Tua. Because here's the thing. It's a good thing in the sense that this organization believes in him. It's a bad thing if he never reaches the potential of this. All the weapons that they gave, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. If he doesn't get it done, and I'm not sure if that's a Super Bowl, I'm not sure if that's to win a Super Bowl or a trip to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure what the expectations is, but if they continue, meaning the Dolphins, if they continue to get to the first round of the playoffs and lose, or if they don't win the AFC East within the next couple of years, I think it could backfire for him, meaning Tua, because it's like, what other team is going to give you what the Dolphins has given you?
Well, no, and I expect close to MVP contingent results out of him for money like that. It's like you better put up a heck of a season behind this kind of money. Like,
and to his credit, they have had games, I think, 400 or 500 yards on offense.
Oh yeah,
and some people would say that, with the weapons he has, but he still was the quarterback when they did that. For whatever reason, and again, I go back to the Boston Celtics. Miami believe in what they built behind him, and they believe in him. They believe that he fits this mold with Hill and Waddle. Odell is down there now, so they've got a top. I mean, I don't know, you guys would think a top 5 offense when clicking on all cylinders. So they believe in him. I'm not 100% in on the move, but I understand the move. It's just, if he did, it could all backfire. He's getting paid, but if he doesn't get this done, man, it's like they gave you everything. And if you don't win, I think he at least has to get to a Super Bowl. I mean, he has to at least get to, or maybe just the AFC Championship. I don't know. But it's like with all those weapons, it's like, man, it's a lot of pressure for him in the long run. So,
you're gonna start mentioning him in the same sentence with the CJs, with the
exactly
with the Lamars, with everybody else in the AFC.
Just to bring it home to the home team, man, to the Texans, it's like, man, if I'm CJ, I'm licking my chops. If Jordan Love getting an extension, if Tua's getting an extension, and I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, either one of you, I feel like CJ has done more than Love. Granted, now Love has been here longer in the NFL. I think the Packers, to Cole's credit, they have been grooming him. But I feel like if I'm CJ Stroud, man, that next contract, if I continue to do somewhat what I'm doing,
if I can improve on what I've done,
exactly, man, so it's crazy, man. I mean, and in today's NFL, in an offensive-led game, you are going to overinvest or invest highly in a quarterback. So even if you see a quarterback like Love, who probably doesn't have the resume to certain people to get everything right now, they're going to overpay because he's showing potential and they believe in him. And that's why I asked that question earlier. It's like, as a GM now, you're going to have that ability to forecast. It worked out for the Boston Celtics. We'll see if it works out for the Packers. I think the Dolphins has to a certain extent, but it's like, the amount of weapons that they're giving to he's got to come through. I think he's under more pressure than Jordan Love to win now. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. Shout out to these young guys getting these bags, man. I'm not mad at them. All right. Let's forecast a little bit. I'm gonna put both of you guys' feet to the fire on this. Let's start with you, Cole. Which one of these teams will win a Super Bowl first? Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals, Detroit Lions. And Chuck, you can get in on this too if you want to. Let's start with you, Cole.
I'm gonna say I'll go with the Detroit Lions.
Okay, tell us why.
I think because they got a great top 10 receiver. They got 2 top 10 or at least top 15 running backs. They have a solid defense with a great defensive end, great corners. I think they're the most well-rounded team out of all of them. After that, I put Houston as number 2. And then actually, I take all that back. I put Cincinnati. They've done it before. They know how to do it.
Okay. Are you taking the Bengals because they've been there before?
I'm taking them because they've been there before. But if you ask me right now in this present moment, I think Detroit has the most well-rounded team, with Houston coming in second, because I can't talk on Houston with Diggs because I haven't seen them play yet. But I saw Detroit last year. They made the playoffs, made it to the second round, actually. And was it the second round to the final?
I think they made it to the NFC Championship, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and they have a great coach that everyone likes to play hard for. I like them the most to go back if you go off a current roster and what they have, but I like Cincinnati for the experience. So I'll go with Cincinnati, Detroit, Houston, and Buffalo.
What you got, Ro? Who you think wins the Super Bowl first out of these teams?
I liked he got up off Detroit. I think them. I think them Lions probably got the best shot. They have the most well-rounded, well-crafted roster in behind, and best avenue fourth. I think. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Are they in the? Because they in the division with Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, Minnesota,
Green Bay.
and Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, I think they can potentially run away with it in that particular regard. Now, whether Goff has the brass to really pull it off or
That's
not,
my question. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think he's been and lost as well, so I'm not sure. I think Burrow's skill set is better in terms of just being overall having more tools and just more poise about him. If it's got to come down to the quarterback factor, like I said, I like Joe Cool. Joe Cool is it.
Yeah.
I trust CJ as well, you know what I'm saying, to a large degree, and like what we have going on in terms of the actual ability to win it, not get there, not just get there, but win it, you know what I'm saying. And Buffalo, like I said, I think has regressed tremendously, so I don't even think they're even worth consideration at this point.
Right.
But everybody else has a real good shot as far as to why I think giving Detroit that edge just because they have a easier avenue.
That's
and
a great point.
A really powerfully crafted roster.
Yeah.
It's like, they, like you said, that defense is stout. They don't have anybody that plays stellar, and dominantly, but they collectively just get the job done and put up numbers and get stops and just do what they have to do. So, yeah, that's a championship defense.
Right. I got Detroit too. I just don't know what Buffalo is. I think, to your point, Larry, I think Buffalo has regressed. The Texans, I just don't know yet. I don't know. Cincinnati, I don't know what Burrow's going to look like. I got a lot of faith in Burrow. I just don't know the Bengals. And I think their division is going to be tough. I think the Bengals division is probably going to be one of the toughest divisions in football. That is the AFC North. Baltimore, Cleveland,
Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this, and I've said this before, I always use this comparison, but I think that AFC North can be like the old school days of the NFC East with the Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, when they were all competitive. And it's like they have a battle all year, and by the time they get to the playoffs, they out of gas. I think the AFC North is going to be like that. And I can't really just say who's going to win the AFC North. I can lean towards Baltimore. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, man, Cleveland.
And I can see Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is always going to be there. I mean, Pittsburgh, no matter what. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. Like, always in the playoffs, But the team that scares me the most is Cleveland. I just think with Deshaun coming back, and there's some questions about him.
Amari Cooper, that running game. It's
the
like
running
they got
game
a lot going on.
And that defense. And then last year being able to get to the playoffs with all the adversity they faced at the quarterback position. Shout out to my man Flacco, who we flattened in the playoffs. But
another former Jet.
Exactly. There it is. But to answer this question, I'm gonna go with Detroit. I think we know what Detroit is. And for what, like Rose said, the question I have about Goff, I think the team is built to cover up his weaknesses and hear what I'm saying and highlight his strength. Call in at 281-969-8190. If you want to get in on this, hit that like and subscribe. But I'm going with Detroit. I think Detroit has the most solidified identity out of all these teams to get to the Super Bowl. One step away, one play away. I think they've got a well-oiled machine. All right, to the NFC West. Who is the best quarterback out of Purdy, 49ers, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray at the Cardinals, Matthew Stafford at the Rams? Let's start with you, Ro. Who do you think is the best quarterback right now going into training camp in the NFC West?
I'd have to rock with the Rams. I'd have to rock with Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that's my man always thinking outside the box. Tell us why, Ro.
I'd have to. He's been there. He's proven to be enough to do it. So he's got the experience cornered. It really just depends on what they show up with, in terms of what he has to play with. Kyler, I love Kyler's skill set. I love the way Kyler plays the position. Geno Smith as well. Geno Smith has been the comeback player of the century, and that's just me. I'm reluctant to give Purdy any credit just because that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I mean, so shout out to Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, keep proving me wrong, Jack.
I thought you was doing that to take a shot at Cole. That's Cole, man.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, many in a manner of speaking, you know what I'm saying? Not to be too, but I mean, if I had to rank them and I got the order, I put them in that order, you know what I'm saying?
You got Stafford, Murray, Smith, and then Purdy.
Yeah.
So you going from the top up.
Yeah.
All right.
Purdy, I just feel like Purdy, that's one of them things that could have been on Forrest Gump, man. Forrest Gump could have been the 49ers quarterback for a season or two with these weapons that they had going on and get it on. And him and McCaffrey be best friends, take an old black and white photo. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, it's kind of cartoonish. And his name is Purdy. I just can't do it. I can't. I can't, I can't. Sorry, San Francisco. It's like y'all going to be in the mix for quite a while, but y'all thought y'all stole one with that one. And that was not accurate. Shanahan, you will regret.
Cole is the best.
So I'm gonna break down all four for you. Brock Purdy's the winner. He's a winner. I think Geno Smith is consistent game manager. I think Kyler Murray's the most talented out of all of them, and I think Matthew Stafford is always in the conversation. But I take all that to say that I think Brock is probably the most consistent winner of all of them. So I would say he's the best.
Two, okay.
So I would say he's the best, but I would say Kyler Murray has the potential of being better than all of them this year.
Okay. All right.
I'm going with Purdy.
All right. I'm going to disagree with y'all both, and I'm going to tell you why. Shout out to my man Rose saying the man's name is Purdy. Wow. A little bit of comic relief. But on the serious side, I'm going to say Kyler Murray. And I just think if the kid stays healthy, the way he plays the game, kind of to what you're saying, Cole, as far as talent, if he can get a full season, and I do believe the kid from Ohio State is going there, right?
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I think that's what Murray has needed. I think he needed two things. Number one is health and a top receiver. I believe in that kid from Ohio State. And I believe that if they open the game up, because he is a shorter quarterback, I'm referring to Murray. But I believe if he can stay healthy and get outside the pocket and they take the chains off, which I think Arizona has done, I think he's the best quarterback in the NFC. I think talent-wise, to Cole's credit, I think Purdy has the best situation to win. And what I mean by that is coaching, weapons, system, and for what role they have. I agree with Cole is that he's been the most successful, but I think he has the most gifted offense with one of the best offenses.
He has the best team culture, I would say, too.
Exactly. I think he has the best chance to win because of his situation. Now, if I flip-flop, if I take Murray and I put him in that system, I think they go to the Super Bowl. That's how much I believe in that system in San Francisco. No disrespect to Purdy. I just think he's got the best situation. But I do think
Kyler like each Murray, of those guys could step in there.
And I like Geno. I think Geno is underrated. I need a little bit more body of work. I think the comeback player of the year suits Geno Smith. But I need a little – and I don't know, Seattle, I still don't know what they are. I know they overachieved last year. Stafford, I think he's on the downward spiral of his career. I think the Rams have to – I think he can still play because his experience plays a factor. But I'm going with Murray. I think Purdy has the best situation, and I think Purdy, if he does what he's done last year, will have the best chance of not only winning that division. The 49ers, I think they still have one of the best rosters in the league. I got a question down here, but we're not going to get to that. But I think the Niners are still there in the NFC. All right, let's get to some quarterback talk. Cole. Will Russell Wilson succeed in Pittsburgh? And if he does, how does that look if you agree he will succeed in Pittsburgh?
I actually think whoever starts will succeed in Pittsburgh. I'm going to give him the upper hand and say he'll start. So I will say yes, and because I think it's the culture of Pittsburgh, I think they do have a lot of good pieces there. Um, I think that that they have one of the best coaches who holds people accountable, and he'll put them in a situation, and they're going to run the ball a lot. So I don't think he needs to be extraordinary, but one of the things that work in his benefit, he's a play action quarterback, and with them running the ball a lot, I think is really going to open up the game for him. So I definitely think that he'll succeed. That's actually my dark horse for them to actually take that division as well. So
And what you think, Raw?
Yeah, short answer, yeah, absolutely. They're both gonna succeed for sure. He's kind of ready and tailored to fit the scheme and what they had anyway. You couple that with the debacle in Denver, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot of motivation. He's gonna be fired up. He's gonna get the nod. Um, yeah, as long as his body will hold up, they will. He will go. They will go as far as he takes them. With Justin Fields still pressing his back.
Right. I think he will. And the reason why I put this on here is because I think this is a great, great situation from him. I think this Pittsburgh Steelers team mirrors those great years in Seattle. A run first team with a stout defense. I even think the coach is better. No disrespect to Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom. But I think for what Russell Wilson brings to the game, when we've seen him with the most success, what have we seen him with? A stout defense, an offense that doesn't require him to be terrific, but just good. Don't turn the ball
y'all
over.
think about, let me just sprinkle this in on y'all. The fact that this week, this week he missed practice again because he tweaked his calf muscle.
I just think his age. And I just think they taking precautions because he's an older quarterback. That's going to happen. And I will say this. Knowing what I know about Pittsburgh, I think that's just them being a seasoned organization that really just wants to protect a veteran quarterback. That doesn't scare me. Now, if it's a major injury, yes. But it's not a major injury, and they have to take precautions when you have that much mileage on your body. But to say that, I think if he does have an injury, I'm good with Justin Fields stepping in. Same thing. Now, we don't have a body of work to point to for Justin Fields like we do for Russell Wilson. But I will say this. With the skill set that Justin Fields has, I feel 100% confident that what Pittsburgh brings as a system, again, same thing with Wilson. Fields, we're not asking you to do a lot. We don't have a lot of pressure on you. We got a stout defense. We can run the ball, but we can open it up for you to do that. And I think if Justin Fields would have had that in Chicago, it may not even be a Caleb Williams over there. He just never had that in Chicago. So I think the system is set up not only good for Wilson, but Fields. I think both of them have a good chance to be successful in Pittsburgh. But this Pittsburgh team, the reason why I put this on as a topic, to me, is one of the best. We look at the best part of Russell's career, it's with the Legion of Boom Seattle Seahawks. I think Pittsburgh is probably a better version, not necessarily man for man on their defense, but the dominance that's capable of that defense in Pittsburgh, coupled with Wilson, handed off to a running back that's pretty good, but don't try to do too much because that's Russell Wilson's best years when he wasn't pressing, he was just making plays. And, you had that man back there running back. Yeah. You don't necessarily have that in Pittsburgh, but you do have a running back mentality, the toughness, tough, hard, short yardage. So, yeah, I think it's a great situation for Russell Wilson. We'll see, man. I mean, if he can't get this done, I think he's done. But we'll see. All right. I got a little bit of trivia for you. Let's stay in the NFL. This is a water cooler topic, and we all from the 90s, so we can attest to this. We've seen this guy. Is Michael Vick the most athletic quarterback of all time in the NFL? Let's start with you, Cole.
It's between him and Lamar, but I would say he's the most explosive, agile quarterback.
Is it athletic?
I think he's the most athletic. I think he is the most athletic.
You think it's between him and Lamar?
It's between him and Lamar by far. I think Randall Cunningham was nice. I think McNair was nice. I think Cordell was nice. But I don't think they had the arm talent or the speed or the agility or the natural God-given talents that those two have. I'll give it to Michael Vick because he's the blueprint to everything.
Now, people say that. Is it comparable to Mike Vick? Can Mike Vick be compared? And we'll go to Roe next. What about Steve Young? Is he comparable to Steve Young?
He's solid. I mean, he might be the most mobile, accurate quarterback.
Steve Young won Super Bowls.
Yeah, I could agree to that. But when I think of Steve Young, although I'll say he's better because he won Super Bowls, he's not that much better than McNabb and McNair.
Athletic wise.
As an overall mobile quarterback.
Okay.
Because athletic wise, he's still not more athletic than McNabb. He might be equal with McNair. He might be equal with McNair, but he's not more athletic than McNabb.
You don't think Steve Young was more athletic than McNabb?
Nah, McNabb was faster. So the thing that made McNabb maybe a little bit slower is when he got super bulky. Because there was that I want to say it was like year 3 or 4, he decided to lift a lot of weights. But he was never more athletic than McNabb.
I don't know. Rove is shaking his head. Ro, what you think?
No, I agree. I completely agree.
You think Vick is the most athletic?
Because Steve Young and his athleticism is a lot closer to just like he called it by like a Steve McNair, aspect. He ran a lot and he, had the little sidearm and it was showcased differently in that West Coast style offense that they always played in out there in San Francisco. So it looked different. But like I really can't think of a combination, even Vick with the missing accolades and accomplishments, even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, just in terms of the skill set and what he brought to the table and about his athleticism, it's really hard.
So this question strictly about athleticism, not chips, not wins.
Not chips and wins. It was chips and wins.
Cam Newton.
Nah, Cam was big and strong.
And fast and quick and agile and had hops and hands.
Great arm talent.
But Mike Vick, like, think about this, man. Like, think about how scary Mike Vick was on 3rd and 5. Like, Cam, the one knock I got against Cam is this: Cam was bigger and stronger. Was he as fast as Vick?
Cam,
and Cam
fast for somebody 6'5".
Yeah, for 6'5". But see, Cam to me is more comparable to Culpepper.
But he eating Culpepper in terms of it. But athleticism, he eating Culpepper though.
And if you really want to think about it, the only white boy that I put on the level is Mike Vick and Lamar Jackson would have been Doug Flutie. He's the only one who had people missing out there.
New York bias. Get out.
He had people missing out. If you could go back to who he was playing for the Argonauts show and all them boys, that boy was always nice.
He was always making. But we talking about athletic. Like, think about this.
Flutie was athletic, yo.
Do anybody on this panel think that can anybody argue
taking Steve Young over Flutie?
Yeah, that's easy.
I'm not saying we talking about athletic ability. He's not more athletic than Flutie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Athletic ability. Like, I'm think about this. Like there's a time when Mike Vick played where he was considered the fastest player in the NFL. Like think about that as a quarterback. No disrespect to Cam, no disrespect to Randall Cunningham, no disrespect to McNair. But think about when Mike Vick was at the height of his powers with the Falcons, when Nike gave him his shoe. Like, have we ever seen anything like and think about this? I remember watching a game from Mike Vick, and he wasn't even at the height of his powers. I'm talking about Philadelphia Eagles Mike Vick. I'm talking about after the dog incident. Monday Night Football. He threw a pass to what's my man that was supposedly in the game?
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he threw a pass to him where he threw the ball. I'll never forget this. I've never seen this in my life, still to this day. No disrespect to Mahomes. He threw a ball, and when he threw it, the ball went out of the screen. He threw it so high. It was a bomb to Deshaun. The ball went out of the screen. And then Deshaun
might have been a 99-yard play. It might have been back.
Yeah, I think it was that play.
Yeah. And it's like, that's not even Atlanta Falcons, Michael Vick. That's
back foot.
Yeah, that's arms. Right. So just think about God-given. It's got to be Vick. It's got to be Vick. Like, and then the fact that it is possible as a quarterback, he was probably the fastest player in the NFL somewhere in that Atlanta time.
Yeah, they were talking to his receivers at one point, and at some point they were talking about all the fingers that had been dislocated, and just it would be straight breaking fingers in camp because he'll stick that ball to you. You know what I'm saying?
Because even if Lamar has him on speed, which is still debatable,
he doesn't have him on.
He don't have arm talent.
Mm-hmm.
The strength of it's got to be Vic, man. I can't think of anybody more athletic than Vic at the quarterback position in no era. None.
Cam is close though. Cam is close. I'd say just because Cam does not have the speed equalizer.
That's what I'm saying. Cam was strong,
but see,
like Cam
didn't have the career that
he only had 1 year
for us to kind of
the body was working.
But see what he's got is you can't take Vic on a quarterback keeper third and short and just have him going between tackles and running that ball.
That's why I say.
Goal line like
that's
that.
why I say for me, Cam is more comparable to Culpepper, the big strong.
Yeah, like he can pull that one.
Right.
Do that one with the super.
Right. Now, arguably, in Cam's favor, Cam had one of the best seasons. Yeah, Cam they went to the Super Bowl with Carolina.
Cam
he won the MVP.
And then paralleling like a Megatron, it's like they have the most. If you could give a checking off boxes in the skill segment, like the archetype of a quarterback, I know characteristics of quarterback, it's like it would be like that because it wouldn't necessarily be Vic. He's shorter for a quarterback, but
he's short.
Like you said, the improvisational aspect of it, the bootleg, the reverse field trick play aspect of it,
and probably
it's limitless.
Right, and probably Lamar falls into that category as far as speed. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have the arm talent. But definitely, man, Cam always is going to be
and it's his escapability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like
Vic was so dangerous, man. And Cam will always be that season, man. That season, they went 14-2 and they went to the Super Bowl.
Played Peyton and them.
And he was the NFL MVP. It's arguably one of the greatest quarterback seasons of all time. People are going to kill me for that. But that season, that might have been 14. I can't think of that season. That was one of the best quarterback seasons. It kind of reminds me of that season, even though it's not the NFL, when Vince Young was at Texas and they beat USC. Just a season, like just dominance as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Showcase on display.
Right, exactly. So I don't know, man. I think we all agree that Vic is probably the most athletic quarterback of all time. I know.
Is RG3 anywhere in that conversation?
No, just stay hurt too much.
Yeah,
could have been there, but just stayed hurt too much. Just stayed hurt. Now his rookie season when he won Rookie of the Year, that was a great season. But just stayed too hurt, man. Just always RG3 is always going to be what he could have been if he would have stayed healthy. All right. Let's get into the NBA, man. Well, let's stay in the NFL, man, because I got a couple more questions I want to know. All right. True or false? Is Justin Jefferson better than Tyreek Hill? Let's go with you, Ro.
In a way. In a way, certainly. I think he can do more things, whereas Tyreek's top gear and like the highest level of potential is a little bit up above Justin Jefferson. And that's even like from an explosiveness aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? I think both of them can produce a 2,000-yard season, man. To be honest with you, it's really, really hard to say. But I'm just saying, I feel like Justin Jefferson gives you more versatility in terms of the types of things I can get from him. I can get possessions up. I can get the explosive side of. He reminds me of a young Odell.
Okay.
Before all of the injuries with Odell, minus the super spectacular catch and all that. Okay. Tyreek Hill is more on a uncharted, potentially dangerous. Who knows where he might be fired up. I'm not sure about what's going on behind the scenes, but that top gear is everything. He's speed. He's easily almost as good as like an Antonio Brown, without any of the headache and the problems. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's a great comparison.
Possibly more explosive, but Justin Jefferson, I think, has a deeper bag.
Right. What do you think, Cole? Who's better?
I'm going to say Justin Jefferson, and I'm going to agree with Laro. I think Jefferson has more size. And honestly, last year, just playing, 10 games and already catching for 1,000 yards on an injury-shortened season, like, man, that was amazing. I will say that Tariq is more explosive, but overall, I got to go with Justin Jefferson. I think just the versatility of having more size and be able to do more things because of his size, I have to give it to him for that.
All right, let me ask y'all both this. Who's the most dangerous for defenses? who's the most dangerous? Because I agree.
I said Tyreek. Tyreek's more of a game wrecker. Like I said, it's like you can game plan around Tyreek, and if that does not necessarily work, you don't have many counter moves beside that. The game is just kind of busted at that point, in my opinion. Justin Jefferson is going to be a problem throughout, and it's pretty explosive as well. But I just think by far the one that you could try to game plan around and stop and have it go absolutely the wrong way, Tyreek Hill.
So you think Tyreek is the most dangerous? You think Tyreek's the most dangerous, Cole? NFL, you're the defensive coordinator. You get ready to face, the Vikings, and I'm just giving you a random situation. You're facing the Vikings. You're facing the Dolphins. Who are you most feared in your game plan? Is it Jefferson or Hill?
I'm fearing Hill, but for different reasons. I'm fearing him because they have more talent, and you have to game plan for Waddle too, so it takes less pressure off for Tyreek Hill. But if you ask me if you put Justin Jefferson on Miami, I'm probably taking Justin Jefferson, man. Like, I've watched this guy play. He's unguardable, man. Like, really unguardable. I just feel bad for him this year because he has that Michigan quarterback throwing to him.
I hate the guy, man. I shouldn't say I hate the guy. I just don't believe in the guy.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill
surprises us.
Tyreek's speed so fast. Like I've only seen Vic or somebody do this. Made two defenders run into each other, like smash each other. I forgot whether they were playing Minnesota, or they were playing somebody, but they were. As a matter of fact, because Vic had the guys in overtime and had the ball in sudden death, and some kind of way the two DBs just smashed each other, and he just popped through and scored and ran in the tunnel. Seemed like for the game, you know what I'm saying? So it's like. Tyreek Hill has speed reminiscent of things.
You know what's so crazy? You left what's his name out this conversation, and I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I think when I watch him, I'm like, yo, he's just as nasty as both of them as CeeDee Lamb.
Nah. I think he's a shade underneath. I like CeeDee Lamb. I
regarded last year.
I like CeeDee Lamb, and you might have a point. I'm just not there yet. The dominance that I've seen from Jefferson and Hill, I see from times from CeeDee Lamb, and that may not be CeeDee Lamb's fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not ready yet. I see what you're saying because he shows me flashes of being on that level, but more consistently, to me, I think these two guys are probably the best two receivers in the league, arguably, because again, I agree with you all. I'm taking Jefferson. Jefferson has more size. I think Jefferson is more of a nightmare matchup one-on-one. But as far as, I don't know, man, Tyreek Hill, it's just so scary because here's the thing about Tyreek Hill.
So you think those two are the best? You don't think Chase deserves to be in that conversation?
Arguably, because for me, Chase and Lamb, they show me flashes, and it may not be their fault. Okay, I just think Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill, I see them as the elite. I see Chase and Lamb right underneath. Very good. They are all Pro Bowl receivers. But that's why I tried to put you in the mind frame of who do you fear more as a defensive coordinator? For me, Tyreek Hill puts a lot of fear in me. And you brought up a good point, Cole, because of the many other weapons too that Miami has. But also this. The thing about speed, man, is either you got it or you don't. You see what I'm saying? And you either got somebody that can stay with Tyreek Hill or you don't. And it's just a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like Justin, if you can double him, the Vikings don't have anybody that can really complement him consistently. And if you can double him and if you can be more physical with him, you have a shot. But here's the thing. Tyreek Hill, man, if he gets off that line of scrimmage, you either have a cornerback that can stay with him or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like he just puts more fear into me because the speed factor. Like, I kind of look at him like, what's the kid that used to be in Kansas City, man?
Dante Hall.
Oh, man. The speed factor.
Yeah.
He was just so fast. And it was like you didn't kick the ball to him. And if they ran a crazy reverse in Kansas City, it's like, oh my
God,
God.
but a human joystick.
Exactly. So Tyreek Hill kind of scares me. They're not quite the same, but the thing about it in the NFL, man, when you got speed kills. And the thing about speed, if you got strength, we can double, triple team you. If you got speed, you either got somebody that can match that, or you just don't.
I think Tyreek is even actually underrated in terms of his wide receiving capabilities because of the speed.
Right.
Like, I think that people don't understand what type of receiver he is and the shape that he's in. Because I mean, my man gets off the line. You can't jam him really.
Right, exactly.
You can't really hit him in the mouth even.
And then the thing about it is when you can blow the top of a defense off like that with a kid. I mean, that's what keeps Tua in contract.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For real.
I'm gonna say Hill is the most feared. I would take Jefferson first, though.
I'm gonna give y'all some stats then real quick. So this is according to the score, right?
Go ahead.
CeeDee Lamb, and I brought this up because Cole brought him up. They got CeeDee Lamb as number 1, Tyreek Hill number 2, Justin Jefferson number 3, Jamar Chase number 4, and then Amon Ra.
Right. Who's underrated in Detroit. Right.
Yeah.
So who will be replaced by Garrett Wilson this year? So
they got Garrett Wilson at number 7.
Okay.
Brandon Ayuk at number 9. Devontae at round out number 10.
They disrespected Devontae, man.
And the thing about CeeDee, again, it may be just the Cowboys. I mean, do they call the correct plays? Does Dak get him the ball? It could be that. But I don't know, man. Just for me, like, you put Tyreek Hill anywhere, man. Tyreek Hill anywhere. I mean, he showed me that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I knew he was good in Kansas City, but I kept saying it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes. But then when he got to Miami, I was like, damn, he doing that with Tua. You know what I'm saying? He's just so scary, man. The speed factor. It's just all right, Chuck. You want to take a break, or can we go straight into the association?
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
All right, let's go. All right, NBA news. How do we feel about Cleveland? And I'm talking about the Cavaliers, ladies and gentlemen. Since the season has been over with, they've agreed on a 3-year deal worth $150.3 million to Donovan Mitchell, a maximum contract extension that includes a player option for the 2027-2028 season. They finalized a 5-year contract to Kenny Anderson. They're making a lot of moves in Cleveland. How do we feel about the latest moves in Cleveland? Does these moves in particular, and of course they're not going to be finished, does this put them in contention with the East Coast? Do you think they've done enough to crack that top 3 with the coach's addition? Mainly Mitchell. Does Mitchell help them? Being that he's going to be there now and they've made the decision to get behind him, does this make Cleveland better?
I think that the coaching change might help them a little bit, but because I love Atkinson.
I do too. I think he's underrated. Yes.
I think he's very underrated, but I don't think they're top 3. I think they're fighting for 5 and 6. I think Miami, Pacers, and them will be fighting for 4, 5, 6. I don't like Mobley for that much money because he hasn't shown me he could score in the post. I think he's very soft when it comes to playing against bigger, more athletic or bruisers such as Banchero, Randall, so forth. I think, and even Tatum, they eat him up every single time. I think they'll finish 5th or 6th, to be honest with you.
Think these moves, have they done anything to make them better, or are they just because I think they are already in that 5th and 6th spot.
I think what will make them better is if they move on from Garland and get a bigger 2 guard and play Donovan at the 1.
Okay. What do you think?
Back Levine or something like that, or
how you feel about Cleveland?
I like it. Of course, it all starts with Spider. I like that they locked him down. I like the deal. It seems to be a team-friendly deal to go out there and get much more, or you go out there and get another piece, should I say. It's just not an attractive destination. I just don't see I really don't see an avenue for them to really get in position to compete with the New Yorks and Bostons of the East. Just what they have, even doing everything right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Atkinson isn't a bad pickup, but JB wasn't nothing wrong with the job JB Bickerstaff did either. You know, so it's like I'm not hating on Atkinson either, but you know, I think a coaching change is overrated. In terms of its significance, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, and then I got a similar gripe with Mobley. We doing the same thing with Jabari Smith here. It's like, yeah, he kind of big, but then he's on them insured drinks. He need to drink some insure. I've seen flashes of what I need out of the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like on both accords, but
That, I mean, it's a fair criticism, but keep in mind, and
But
y'all,
see,
you
they-
and Cole both right, but he is young, bro.
he's young, and then anybody that got paired up in that front court with who's the big guy with Allen, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can pay dividend. You got some things and some wild card stuff. You still hiding Karis LeVert down that bench. Y'all got players. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all have a team.
Great point.
Y'all stole Strus. It's like y'all keep on with these little kind of midway replacement guys, and you can piece something together. So I see on the high side, maybe finishing like 4 outside of that top 3. You know what I'm saying? I can see him maybe finishing as high as 4 if everything goes right. But yeah, between 4 and 6, I got them right around there. I don't think they
we
can
all
continue
agree,
at the
and I'm
top.
hearing from both of y'all, right? Especially you, Ro. We would say New York is one, or New York and Boston is up there. Do we think that Indiana is better than Cleveland?
I still think Indiana's better than Cleveland.
All right.
Indiana's better than Cleveland. Philadelphia is still better
Do we
than
think
Cleveland.
Philadelphia is better?
Yeah.
Milwaukee's still better, and Miami's still better.
Better? You think Miami is better too?
Yeah, I think Miami's better.
What about
Miami
Orlando?
keeps that 8 seed locked up for some reason. They just stay around.
Right.
Now.
What about Orlando? Are they better than Cleveland?
Orlando's better too, and I heard they might make a move for man. I'll remember before we get off the show, because I was like, if they make a move for this point guard,
Until that happens, though, we can't say that. They did beat this same Orlando team in the playoffs.
That's why I asked that.
But it went 7. It went 7.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
It went
true.
7.
But we not
They were injured, and they were injured a lot too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. I like locking down Spider. You get to put that suspicion to the side, because remember they kept saying, is he coming back and this and that. So I think they're getting behind him. The only thing I hate about Spider is, and I did not know this because he doesn't play, he's so undersized.
Oh yeah, he's like 6'2".
He's like 6'1".
Yeah. Oh, is he
He's
that
dunking
little?
like that. Yeah, I thought he was a 2 guard. I thought Spider was 6'5".
Yeah.
The way he plays.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I can even.
He in that Steve Francis, Baron Davis. He in that.
He plays bigger than what he actually
He's got
is.
dimes, but I can't shackle him being the 1. I can't.
Me
make him
either,
my
because
1.
he plays.
Like he's a 2.
Yeah,
He's a 2.
exactly. Like I did not know until Cole told me episodes ago, because remember New York was in the running for getting him, and I was like, man, that's gonna fit in New
He
York.
played
And Cole,
like a Joey Wave, about 6'5".
but Cole was
6'6".
telling me he's only 6'1", 6'2", though.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
He
undersized.
just plays that,
but he plays like he's 6'5", and he jumps out of the gym. It's crazy about that,
feathery
man.
on the touch.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I like the direction they're going in. I don't know if it makes them better, but I like what they're doing.
So I meant to say, I've read on something before. I don't know how real it is if they'll actually go after it, but they were saying Orlando might make a strong run at LaMelo Ball by the trade deadline. Like
The thing about it is who they sending, because don't they got a stock full of point guards, right? Like they got Suggs,
they got
what's my man at
still.
Fultz? My man. So it's one.
I think he's a free agent. I think Fultz is it, but they picked up that kid Black from Alabama or something.
That's
Who's a solid guard.
Right. That's right. Right.
But
about
I think if Charlotte looks to move on, if you put LaMelo with Banchero and Wagner, I'd be scared to play them in the playoffs, man.
So
Banchero's nice.
All right. So Cole, we'll move on. But if they do that, which one of those guards are you letting go? Are you letting Suggs go, or you letting?
I think you can let any guard go. You just keep Caldwell Pope, who you just signed, and you get rid of everybody else. At the end of the day, you give up draft picks if you have to. If you could put a talent like LaMelo with Banchero, Lord have mercy.
I don't know. I ain't quite in on LaMelo, but I see. I ain't sold yet, but I see what you're saying potential wise. I see what you're saying. All right, let's get to a little bit of history. I'm gonna go flip flop on this. All right, let me ask y'all both this, because this is another This is another water cooler discussion. And you can call in, ladies and gentlemen, at 281-969-8190 to get in, because we're about to get into this little trivia before we take a break. I want to know this question because people don't talk about the small forward position. But in your opinion, and to the chat, to the audience, who is the best small forward in NBA history? Let's start with you.
History?
Carl. History. Who's the best small forward in NBA history?
You starting with me or Ro?
I'm starting with you, Cole.
Damn. Why you gotta start with me?
This is a rough one. This is one for the audience. This is the one that
by far, LeBron James.
ESPN is gonna steal this from us.
LeBron James.
By far,
LeBron James. Scottie Pippen.
No. Start going down the list. I asked you who's the best. Don't start.
I told you LeBron James. I said the other ones are honorable mentions, but there's nobody else. It's just LeBron is the conversation done.
Bro, what you think? I ain't.
You know what? LeBron or Magic Johnson? Is he a
small forward?
LeBron or Magic Johnson? Yeah.
Magic a point.
Magic listed at point. Magic was really a point forward.
Come on, bro. He was a point.
Man, if it ain't Braun, it got to be like Larry
Bird.
John Havlicek. I thought they was gonna get into Bird, Scotty.
It got to be maybe the Dr. J.
Dr. J was a 3.
Dr. J was a 3. Now we opening up, right?
Yeah, but they still not better than LeBron.
Because to me, LeBron and all right, LeBron.
I say Dirk was a 3.
Yeah, LeBron. That's a good point. LeBron and Magic to me are point forwards. I don't consider them threes or just point guards. I think they were a little bit of both. Like Magic probably was more of a point. Magic played the point.
Yeah, he played point.
You know what I'm saying?
See, and then I started liking other ones. There's there's a whole other variety, like Glenn Rice and them boys.
That's what I'm saying.
They had that flame.
Now you're opening up because here's what I'm thinking. You got Dr. J.
Dominique Wilkins.
You got Dominique Wilkins. You got Scottie Pippen.
Bernard King.
You got Bernard King. You got I said Larry Bird.
Stacey Augmon. You got a lot of them boys, man. Like the 3 is a special.
Paul Pierce.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact,
some people could argue
Paul Pierce.
Some people could argue Paul Pierce.
Antoine Walker.
Some people could argue. Some people could argue he was Houston biased that Robert Horry small forward was one of the best small forwards. Now,
what are y'all drinking over there? What are y'all drinking over there?
No.
I thought you were gonna say Gerald Wilkins because I know you a New York fan.
Nah, but you said Robert Horry. Come on, man.
No, because Robert Horry is
Cole. If you think about Robert Horry and the Rockets and Robert Horry for the Lakers, who was a better small forward as far as what they did as far as roles?
You gotta rock with him.
He's a role player. If you want to talk about best role players, small forward,
with him within his.
But you gotta rock the way he did play that 3, that small forward. He blocked shots. He was a slasher. I'm not saying,
but was he a 4 or was he a 3? I felt like he was.
He played. He's a 3. He played more. I know.
OT was a 4. OT was a 4.
Right. Like it's a lot of people. That's what I wanted you to open up.
Like at 16, you can say at the gym, he was a matchup nightmare.
Exactly. And you could pull up a roster and say, okay, yeah, LeBron James plays small forward. He's the greatest small forward. But let's just get down to
played the 3.
You can say KD. You can say KD.
You can say KD. You can say Jamal Mashburn before you say Robert Horry.
Oh, don't do Horry. Don't do Horry like that. Cole, that's serious.
You can say T-Mac before you say that too.
I'll give you that.
T-Mac was a 2.
I could give you that, but not Jamal Mashburn.
What about Kawhi Leonard?
Nah, Jamal Mashburn was better.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted y'all to open up. Who is the greatest? Who in your
Kawhi Leonard ain't bad.
Who in your definition of a 3? Because it's subjective. But who do you think? Actually, think about the small forward position because, see, for me, LeBron played point.
What did Vince
Barkley was a small forward. In Philly,
Vince played. Barkley played the Barkley was a
forward, bro.
He was. In Philly, Barkley kind of played a little 3. Believe that. I'm telling you, early on, when he would push it coast to coast. I'm just saying. Like I said, Barkley was kind of a 3, and then got out there and stretched it out because he had that 3 in the MVP years. Yeah, that 3-point range too is stretch it out. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so I guess if you saying we going with Horry, you gonna put Barkley at the 3. All right, look. All right. So look. All right. when I think about threes,
I'll take Sean Elliott over him, yo.
that's what I'm about to say.
Hey,
I was gonna say
Carmelo got a mean ass threes.
I was gonna say
Carmelo do got a
mean
I was
three
gonna
career.
say for me. I gotta roll with the white boy from French Lick. I think Birdman, because Birdman did everything. Birdman posted up, Birdman pushed, Birdman can shoot. You could say Scotty.
LeBron do all of this.
Hey, was Deadlift for three? Was Deadlift strength for three?
Deadlift honorable mention.
I'll give you
Chris Mullen.
Grant
Mully was nasty.
Now you talking.
Mully was nasty.
Now you talking about Grant Hill.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
motherfucking Hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, big dog.
Hill.
Yeah, there was a lot of strange threes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked this question, because there's so many you could throw in there. Like you could throw Dirk. You could throw Sean Elliott.
On a lot of that,
my
might be Antoine Walker.
Walker
Was a mean three for a long time. Like I said, just got that dude in what you call it? He should have been part of that Boston.
Like here's my honorable mention: Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, Steve Smith, Sean Elliott, Scottie Pippen.
I even like Anthony Mason. Throw Anthony Mason on that, man. That was a nice
Who
three.
you think? Cole, who's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention would be Chris Mullen, Grant Hill, Kawhi Leonard,
Damn, that's a
Paul
hard
Pierce.
Ooh.
It depends on if you want to play T-Mac there at that position.
Got about T-Mac.
I think he was more of a two, though. For the most part, he was always at the two. Even point guard sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when he was in Houston, he was.
That's what I'm saying. Like Chuck
Anthony.
That's my point. That's what I said about LeBron. I'm talking about somebody that strictly play the three, because LeBron, T-Mac,
got you.
They play point. I'm saying straight up small forward. That's why
Anthony.
I gotta say,
Melo.
I got it. You can throw
Miami
Melo in
play
there.
Jimmy at the three.
Yep.
Sometimes.
A lot of time they do.
But I'm thinking, like all them guys, Sean Elliott, Grant Hill. That's an excellent one, Grant Hill. Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins. You know, those guys are real three small forwards.
Is Tatum a three?
Yeah, in my opinion,
scoring.
But he played a three though.
But
they have to do.
He wasn't better than Paul Pierce, so I wouldn't even put him above Paul Pierce.
That's an excellent.
You know what? His contributions outside of scoring, I'd say, are not three worthy. He's because he you won't catch him holding the 10 down.
Let's do this and then we'll move on. What do y'all think about when you think about small forwards? I ain't talking about point forwards, just small forwards, period. Like, what do they do?
My small forward can defend 5 positions most of the time.
Okay, that's a good one.
My small forward is a knockdown shooter from both corners to a degree like PJ Tucker, even somebody like that. It's like you got to be a knockdown shooter, and you just got to be an animal. You got to be tenacious on the offensive glass. You got to be securing on the defensive side of it, you know, in terms of that.
Slasher.
Yeah, you got to be able to slash and finish
like Trevor Ariza.
Right. That's a good one.
I call them glue guys, is what I call them. You got to do everything.
And to me, you can do it. There you go. Yeah. You can post up and shoot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything. You can guard everybody.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say,
yo, what's his name? How we leave on Jimmy Butler?
No, Chuck said Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
Jimmy at the three. What's Buddy played in Portland all them years, man? Cliff Robinson, bro. That was my dog. Hey, Cliff Robinson was hard.
And he from Buffalo, yeah.
Cliff Robinson was hard.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's more three guys to me versus LeBron, T-Mac. You know what I'm saying?
I take it 3 back to Clarence Weatherspoon. You know what I'm saying? Stackhouse. You know what I'm saying?
LaFonso Ellis.
Yeah, LaFonso.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I asked that question, man. It's like,
is Giannis a three?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you can afford it, if you can afford it, if you got somebody else who hard knows that can play 4 bigger and be a rim protector.
Because they run in Middleton at the 4 and Lopez at the 5.
Yeah. You know what? Because you might really run like just a suicide giant man 2-5 lineup where you got 2 5s, you got a super versatile 3 like that. You know what I'm saying? The next spot, and then you got another little 2 guard. I said maybe even 2 point guards.
And see, that's why I asked that question, because it's difficult. Because when you think about small forwards, it's such a big variety of small forwards. Yeah.
Feel me? I can make a lineup where Jamal Crawford is my 3. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely
sometimes
good.
Depending on what's going on, just with his size, and You know,
Right.
I mean, even a Harden like talent. If you a bigger 2 guard, you a 3 pretty much in the system. I can craft
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Great point. All right, let's get to another question, and then we'll keep moving on, and we'll get out of here soon. All right. Which one of you would rather seen first in the NBA? Michael Jordan never retired the first time. Shaq and Kobe never split up. Kobe and LeBron faced off in the finals. Derrick Rose never got injured. Let's start with you, Ro. Which one would you have rather seen happen? Michael Jordan never retired the first time on that first three-peat. Shaq and Kobe never split up. Kobe and LeBron face off in the NBA finals. Or Derrick Rose never gets injured.
I don't know, man. The crystal ball of things, man.
The
biggest what ifs. I'd say I would have liked to have seen Kobe and LeBron face off. I'm relatively certain Kobe would have gotten the better of him and gotten the ring.
Okay.
LeBron is a humble fella and would have possibly leveled up his experience and lessons losing to Kobe or being humbled by Kobe that early. That might have started something serious. But, I can't say that I wanted the league to see D Rose not getting injured because D Rose was a problem anyway.
He was, man.
And then it's like even now, just with his basketball acumen, and skill set, his basketball IQ, and his craftiness, he's still quite effective, even with the Brandon Roy, crippling. I'm not even sure what happened to that boy. He played like he got playing with a bullet. Man. Yeah.
So you
it's something about the Memphis dudes, man. He went to Memphis too, huh?
Yeah.
Did he get shot like Penny? Both of them got shot. No, I'm saying Penny had a bullet in his foot for the longest, like coming in.
But Penny, like Brandon Roy, it was knees. It was knees.
Oh, okay, that's something else, man. When she playing bone on bone, man.
So you going with Kobe and LeBron faced off in the finals?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Cole. I can't stop laughing, bro.
I must say, Derrick Rose never injured for me, man. He was just something special, man. Like to think of all those Chicago Bulls teams he played for, and with second tier players,
right?
Up and coming, and I say second tier because I think Luol Deng and Jimmy Butler and Noah were not superstars. They weren't all stars. They were just really good players that became better as the years went along. But
Tibbs, they coached then? Was Tibbs the coach?
Tibbs coached them. Tibbs
Tibbs was there. Yeah, that was pre-Jimmy, right?
Yeah, that was that. Well, Jimmy came towards the. I think the year that he got injured.
That was Jimmy. Yeah,
because my guy got the MVP that year.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose got the MVP that year as a rookie or something really unheard of.
Yeah. So you going Rose, Cole?
Going Rose. I definitely would have loved to see. I think that he would at least have won a championship, but he was so dominant, man. And I'd never seen someone like take off off a dime and just be so powerful, dunker and athletic, and
he was like Ja. Well, Ja reminds you a lot of that potential.
He was even more explosive than Ja.
Take it further, I would say a combination of Ja and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would say that was Westbrook before, with a little bit of Ja Morant. See, the thing about it is with Westbrook, Rose had the athleticism, but I think he had a little bit more skill than Westbrook.
Yeah. No, and he's the jumper.
IQ.
Streaky. He could knock down a three as well.
Exactly.
It wasn't anything on the basketball court he couldn't do. That was little T-Mac.
Right.
It was
for me, I'm stuck in between. I have no interest in Kobe and LeBron. I think Kobe eats LeBron in the finals, especially a young LeBron. Rose, yes, simply because it would have been exciting. And at that time, people got to remember Derrick Rose was probably the first thing in the East that challenged LeBron when he got to the height of his powers in the Cleveland. So, yeah, but for me, it's out of A and B. I'll tell you why A. Because I wanted, in my world, I always bring this up, I wanted to see if Mike would have faced Akeem in the finals, if Mike would have never retired. And some people say, well, if Mike didn't retire, Akeem and them, I think Akeem and them would have got there, and I would have loved to see the Rockets versus the Bulls in the 90s. That's still an unanswered question for me. I still think Mike would have won because nobody beat Mike in the finals, but just think about prime Olajuwon versus prime Jordan. I think I would have loved to see that matchup.
We got to see a lot of matchups like that when we saw Ewing and Jordan go at it. So
I knew he was gonna go. I knew he was gonna go there. I knew any opportunity that he had to throw any opportunity he had in there. But anyway,
let me ask you this real quick.
On a serious note, go ahead, Chuck.
do y'all think? I feel like if Shaq and Kobe
I was about
stayed
to
together,
I was about to get to that. I was just about to go to that because think about
they'd
this.
have had more chips than the Celtics, fam.
Thank you. And that was going to be my number one pick. I just wanted to see Jordan and Elijah at they peak.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this, man. Think about this. Because I was watching this last night. They got a special on NBA TV now talking about the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers, how Iverson and Larry Brown had to get along. Iverson won MVP of that year. Brown won Coach of the Year. Aaron McKee won Sixth Man of the Year. Mutombo, who came over,
Defensive player.
player. Arguably one of the best seasons outside of the early Philadelphia championships of the 80s. But they ran into an unbelievable Shaq and Kobe. And if you think about it, I forgot about this. And Shaq said it in one of his interviews on that special. They dethroned the Spurs. That first group of Spurs. And if y'all really think back about those 3 years with Shaq and Kobe, they ran through the East. Who up? New Jersey, Indiana, and I think Philadelphia was the first year. They ran through the East. They ran. In fact, that same playoffs that was on that special I was telling you about the 76ers in 01, I think that was the first game they lost in the playoffs. The whole playoffs was against Philadelphia in the finals when Iverson stepped over Tyronn Lue. So I kept going back and forth because the thing about Shaq and Kobe, it was like, have we ever seen a duo that dominant with the skill set? Think about Prime Shaq, which was in LA.
The only team I remember competing with him a little was that Sacramento, that way up team.
Right. They took him even, and they smacked them in the end. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that Sacramento team was a hell of a, they could never beat.
So the only other dominant who took them there, both individually and as a team, was by cats down here in H-Town. Injuries hurt them. Yao and T-Mac.
But they wasn't gonna beat Shaq and Kobe.
What you talking about? Yao took them niggas 7 by himself, fam.
Not in the 7 games.
Yao took them 7 by himself, bro, with no T-Mac.
That playoffs. That player with Meta World.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like T-Mac and Kobe was there and there. Kobe even said that.
That was right before he signed up because they might have. Was it Ariza they took?
Yeah, Ariza had just left from the Lakers and came to the Rockets.
Everybody hit the like and subscribe. 281-969
on the T-Mac and Yao.
8190.
Said he had never played a nigga strong as Yao.
Listen,
Yao used to dominate. Yao was the only nigga who did play. Put up 30 on Shaq.
Listen. Y'all might be telling the truth, and we doing a little bit of hometown cooking. But let me tell y'all this right now. Neither one of them cats, whether it be T-Mac or Yao, was going to ever stay healthy enough to be. That's what put the Lakers over them.
Well, the question was, what would you have rather seen? And so
Shaq and Kobe. For me, it's Shaq and Kobe. And for me, coming in second is Michael. Never retired because I want to see Michael versus the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? But you got a point. It was a good matchup for Kobe and Shaq. But I still think in a 7-game series, you just got to think. And then don't forget about this. That same Laker group beat a hell of a Portland run. Brian Grant, Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells. Remember Portland was stacked for a while.
Steve Smith might have been on that team.
Steve Smith was over there.
Stoudemire.
That Portland team was nice. You know what I'm saying? And Shaq and Kobe, they ran through them, man. So I would say Shaq and Kobe is number one. Mike, only because I wanted to see Mike against Maxwell in the finals. And then the other two, I probably would go Derrick Rose simply because of what he could have became. And then, of course, Kobe versus LeBron. All right. Who was more skilled? Kobe Bryant or Kyrie Irving? Let's start with you, Cole.
Kobe Bryant or Kyrie Irving. More skilled is definitely Kyrie Irving. Definitely Kyrie Irving. I'm not taking nothing away from Kobe. I think he worked at his craft and he got better.
Bring 81 points as a guard.
I will say, the improvisation on the spot of Kyrie Irving is something that's a natural ability mixed with skill. I think Kobe improved his skill through countless hours in the gym. I'm not saying that Kyrie didn't put in countless hours, but I think he has more natural skill ability than Kobe. Kobe has more natural athletic ability. And I think there's two differences. I think skill is Kyrie, athletic is Kobe.
You say you agree with that?
That's even debatable. That's debatable, but me and Cole in just about complete agreement about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it that easy though?
I think so.
The man won 5 championships, and the man could dribble. See, that's the one thing. If I did have to say, Kobe had one thing over Jordan was his handle. His handle was more skilled than Jordan. Like Kobe, left-handed turnaround jump shots with his left hand. I mean, we just gonna roll with. I mean, don't get the recency bias because we see.
It's not the recency bias. If you look at players such as like Rod Strickland, for example, like these are naturally skilled players. Like the stuff that they do.
I mean, is that even real naturally skilled? Like, ain't skilled you putting in hours and work to develop a skill, or you saying naturally talented? Because you messing me up with naturally skilled. Like, I ain't never met nobody naturally skilled.
I think.
I'm just saying.
I think naturally skilled to be like Mayweather.
No. Don't give me. I'm not going into boxing, Chuck. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Go ahead, Carl. I'm going to be quiet.
No. I just think that there's certain things that people are born with, like your ability to
instincts, right? That's not skilled. So right?
Not skilled. For maybe a better example be using baseball. Like I think you could have instincts, you could develop a skill to be better at baseball.
But that's what skill is.
I think there's certain people who are just naturally skilled at hitting the ball.
What about okay? I think I know what you're saying. I just don't like the word skill. Let's say talented. Let's say naturally talented, because skill to me has to be developed over time. Now, I think I agree with you saying what you're saying in this. I think it's the vocabulary that's throwing me off. I do think that Kyrie Irving is more skilled. And what I mean by that is it's how he put together his skills. And what we mean by that is that you said it, his ability to improvise. Whereas Kobe was just it was replication of skill. But Kyrie might have been more naturally talented with his skills.
I think he's a better athlete. I think Kobe's a better athlete.
Okay, I could roll with that. I actually can get with that because I do think he was a better athlete. I think he jumps higher. I think he's stronger. I do think Kyrie is more skilled. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like you were making it seem like Kobe was just down here.
No, I'm not saying he's down here. You just asked the question. I was giving you black and white.
Yeah, Kobe gives you more defensively on the side of the ball. It's like Kobe, in terms of skills, I guess he brings more skill where Kyrie is a top heavy in terms of skill side towards the offensive side of the ball.
And then maybe what Cole is saying is Kyrie's more of a wizard.
Absolutely.
So no, let's put it like this. Would you say shooting is a skill?
Who?
Would you say shooting is a skill?
Yes. Because
for example, I think Kyrie just naturally is a better shooter than Kobe. I think Kobe became.
That's the thing. I don't think nobody can naturally be better. I think you have to work on skill. I mean, shooting to be better. Shooting is
who do you think worked harder at their jump shooting? I think Kobe worked a lot harder at his jump shooting than Kyrie.
That's why Kyrie might be more talented.
Yeah,
in terms of that,
he's more. It came more of a natural progression.
Right. I think that's talent. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's skill. But on the flip side, I think Kyrie. You can say Kyrie. Let me put it like this: you can say Kyrie's more skilled because of the way he can improvise. He's a wizard. I think. Put it like this: I think both of them shot 2,000 shots a day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think both of them worked on their handles. I just think Kyrie is more naturally talented to do things with his handle versus Kobe is doing 2-ball dribble and Kyrie is dribbling with 3 balls.
Yes,
and then if you put one in motion, one is more. Kyrie is more creative.
It's like Kobe's more gifted. We'll say Kobe's more gifted and Kyrie is more talented. We'll say like Kyrie Irving.
Well, that's what Cole is saying. And credit to Cole. I think Kobe is born with more athletic ability.
Mm-hmm. which translates to more skills. More
not necessarily, because athletic ability is more God given.
Well, no, absolutely, but I'm just saying,
skill wise,
at 6'7", 210 pounds,
right? Physically, I think Cole is right in that. I think Cole is saying, athletic wise, yes. Mm-hmm. I think Kobe was born with more athletic wise, jump higher, probably could play defense better, stronger.
There you go.
But as far as skill, I think Cole is right. I think Kyrie is more of a wizard. I think Kyrie probably has a little bit more skill. Mm-hmm. I think Cole is right on that. I just think I didn't like the vocabulary he was using, but when I think about it, I like the athleticism versus skill. I like what Cole is saying. All right, let me ask you this. All right. I feel like I've been dodging this question for weeks, and I think Ro wanted me to do it. Who wins this NCAA basketball fantasy matchup between the 2001 Arizona Wildcats and the 2004 UConn Huskies or the 96 Kentucky Wildcats? And let me name some of the notable names off these rosters. For Arizona, you got Jason Gardner, Gilbert Arenas, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, former New York Knick, Michael Wright, Luke Walton. For UConn, Ben Gordon, Emeka Okafor, Hilton Armstrong, Charlie Villanueva, Josh Boone, Marcus White. For Kentucky, 96, Antoine Walker, Tony Delk, Walter McCarty, Derek Anderson, Ron Mercer, Wayne Turner. Who wins this matchup between 2001 Wildcats, Arizona, 2004 UConn Huskies, or the 96 Kentucky Wildcats? Let's start with you, Cole. Which squad wins? We've been waiting to get to this. I've been forgetting this. You know what I'm saying? Who you got, Cole? And tell me why. This got to be a rough one. Chuck, you got to put this in the chat. Who wins this matchup, man?
Don't leave with me. Let me think on that a little bit. Don't leave with me yet, yo. I got to sit on that one.
Chuck say Kentucky.
That's easy. 9-6.
Kentucky.
Like that.
I mean, we're not just being biased because of the times, right?
No, I'm saying I'm looking at this.
But you saying it, Chuck, like it's like they gonna blow. Like Ben Gordon. Look at UConn. Ben Gordon.
Bro, the Arizona squad is hard, fam.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, dog. Yeah, Gilbert and but bro,
9-6.
He just brought up Antoine Walker.
Hey, I'm telling you.
He just brought up Antoine Walker and Derek and Ron.
Hey, Reed Shepard, that in them.
Are we just going? We're going off their college career though, right?
Yeah, we talking about college. We ain't talking about the NBA.
These are all natty winners, man.
Right. We talking about their particular seasons that we named. That 2001 Arizona Wildcats, 2004 UConn, or 9-6 Kentucky.
Tony Delk was a beast in college. Like I remember
McCarty,
him defensive.
Man. Yeah. Wayne Turner.
So Chuck, you going Kentucky 9-6.
Ron Mercer might have been on the bench.
You going 9-6 Kentucky, bro?
No question. No question. Like I am Paulo.
I'm like Cole, man. I ain't. It's tough.
That's the best team. That's the best college team I ever saw.
I'm gonna go off of the chemistry. I'm gonna go with the Big East. I'm going with UConn, man. I think Charlie Villanueva was something different back then, and I think I think UConn had a couple of straight years of having the best two guards in coming out of college, between Ray Allen, Aaron Gordon, even
we can't
even Khalid Alameen and
we talk about these teams.
I'm talking about this team. I think they're the best. They had the best defensive player in Emeka Okafor, and you had a closer in Aaron Gordon, and you had Charlie Villanueva, who's a stretch four before stretch fours.
No, man.
No, you had Antoine Walker, who was a stretch forward before.
He was more of a small forward, though. He was more of a small forward.
That was him. I had just started getting involved in AAU sports, you know what I'm saying, myself, like in a real, what I thought was a high level at the time. And I'm telling you, that Patino team there in with Kentucky, that was the best team. And I saw Five Slammer Jammer. I saw that Hoya Destroyer bullshit that we always be talking about in Georgetown.
But did they win? Did they win? They didn't win the chip. They lost to Duke, didn't they?
Who, Kentucky?
Yeah.
No, you think about mash burning them. No, we talking about
we
talking about this squad. This squad here with Antoine Walker, Tony Delk, McCarty, Derek Anderson, Ron Mercer, Wayne Turner.
They won the chip.
I think so. Yeah,
sure. I'm convinced they was cheating.
Yeah, because remember they ran the press. They pressed all the time. Remember it was like
with 5 in, 5 out.
Yeah, remember they kept that.
I remember that. I just feel like I felt like they were upset that year.
No, one of those years they lost, but it wasn't this year. I don't think it was a 9-6 year.
They won that, and then like 5 or 6 off the front line all went in like first round.
Matter of fact, I think all of these guys won the championship.
Kentucky beat Syracuse in '96 for the chip.
Yeah. Was that with John?
With John Wallace and that white boy at point guard.
Tony Burton.
Yeah. So I mean, Cole, ride with. You going with UConn?
I'm riding with UConn, man.
See, to me, it's out of Kentucky and Arizona, man. That Arizona team, man. Jason
like Miles, Gardner. Is that Bibby and Simon?
Nah.
Bro, did y'all know? Hold on, this can't be right. Donovan McNabb
played on that Syracuse team.
That team. Yeah. I'm sitting there looking at this shit like, hold on. Then he left there and went to join and play football.
Yeah. That's why Donovan McNabb and Julius Peppers both hold like significance to me because I can remember he was playing with Carolina back when Carolina
dunk on you.
You feel me? Like 6'6", 6'9", however big he was listed. I saw him cocking back like Barkley, and it's like that's another kind of athlete. Like Myles Garrett. Yeah. Like when you could hoop like that.
Myles Garrett ball boy.
Man. When you play defense, but then you can hoop like that too.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So Chuck, you going 9-6 Kentucky.
Yeah.
Roe going 9-6 Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Cole, you going UConn.
I'm going UConn.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And Michael Okafor was a problem, man. No one was scoring on him like that. Ben Gordon was a closer. That he was a straight bucket.
But y'all forget about that Arizona team, man. Arenas in college. But I ain't gonna lie. I gotta ride with Chuck and Roe, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That 96, those Kentucky teams.
They were good though. They were good.
Like the closest thing I seen to them,
Arkansas.
And I'm talking about the style of play, but they still didn't have the talent that Kentucky had.
Maybe Larry Johnson and UNLV team, something like
close.
That. Running
and even then, that's the style. Kentucky, that's what I'm saying. UNLV, if you could get past, which is very hard, the first 7 players. Kentucky was subbing 5 in, and they all were good. Like those guys that sat on the all those guys sat on the bench could go start for somebody else in the whole country.
You know who else had a mean program boys forget about? What was Buddy at Arkansas?
Yeah,
Corliss Williamson.
Yeah, the 40 minutes of hell and all. That was Nolan Richardson. They did the same style as Kentucky, and they were nice, and they did the same style, but Kentucky had more players.
Way more. They ate up the whole Beckett. They ate up the whole.
That's why I get mad with people when people say, like, don't get me wrong, the Calipari, Bledsoe, Wall, Anthony Davis.
But Kentucky was not the
same. But the 96, people forget about Patino's Kentucky, the pros and everything. People forget about that because, they had Anthony Davis, Bledsoe, Cousins. They had a nice run in Kentucky. But think about the 95, 96, 97 days. Tony, like
see, that was the last
Derek
time.
Anderson, one of the first Team Jordan athletes.
That might have been coming off of like Michigan too, with the whole scrutiny
Fab
going
down and all that. So,
like they kind of operated outside of that and was still paying for it.
And again, we saw the style of play with Arkansas, but we didn't see the players that was doing that side. We didn't see 5-on-5s, So to me, it's 9-6. But I definitely understand because the thing about UConn, you know what I found out? What I found out doing myself at UConn, when I look at these teams, like just looking at this team, Ben Gordon, I always look at UConn because they had so many great players. I'm like, that ain't the best UConn team. You know what I'm saying? So I get what Cole is saying.
Kemba Walker team might have been eating that one.
Exactly. But don't forget, this team was like Hilton Armstrong, Charlie Villanueva, Marcus White, think about Ben Gordon in UConn.
Yeah.
Like they were nice.
Like he said it before, even when Jake was there. When Jake was there with Khalid
Al-Amin.
For sure.
Yeah. They won a national championship.
We was talking about Spider earlier. He give me the Ben Gordon vibes.
Yeah.
Undersized, jumping out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Tenacious defender.
Even the Arizona teams, I think they were great, man. Like I loved the arenas in college. You know what I'm saying? Even in the league, but I loved the arenas at Arizona, man. But I just feel like it's out of Kentucky and UConn. And I think that people don't give. I'm telling you, people don't give that 9-6 squad a lot of credit, man. Ron Mercer, all them guys, man. Shout out.
I might take the other Arizona squad anyway.
Which one? Bibby?
Yes, sir.
Bibby and Simon. Yep, that's a good point.
That team
Michael Dickerson.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. All right. fight weeks, ladies and gentlemen. My man Cole's favorite fighter is fighting this week. That's right, Terrence Crawford fight week. Main event. Terrence Crawford versus Israel Masvidal for the 154-pound, which is junior middleweight, which is super welterweight division world championship. He's fighting for the WBA at 154. Now, Terrence is moving up from 147 when he took all the belts from Earl. He's going to vacate all those belts, which means that division, other than Boots, who has the IBF at 147, all those belts will be awarded to the top guys at 147. So Crawford is vacating the 147 division. He's moving up to another division to get another belt, which a lot of people think in the boxing world, this is just a warm-up to go up in weight to eventually face Canelo Alvarez, who's at 168. But Crawford, I think, is attempting to get his 4th division belt. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. I know he's got belts at 130, 135. No, 135, 140. He undisputed at 140 and just undisputed against Earl at 147. Now he's moving up to 154 to fight Masvidal. And this is the Turkey card right here. Turkey is responsible for sponsoring this card. This is his first. Shout out to Turkey, Alex Sheik, USA card. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who we seen take Tank to the brinks and did not get knocked out, versus Jose Rayo. That's a great event. Andy Cruz not Andy Cruz. I cannot think of Andy's last name. Heavyweight versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Martin Bacoli versus Jarrell Big Baby Anderson. David Morrell, which is going to be a great 175-pounder versus Hot Rod. I can't say his real name. The real Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. And then Zaydad Amakwa versus Michael Bullock. Now, let's get to the predictions of the main event. I know Cole is going to be the most dramatic, so we'll go to Cole first. How does Terrence Crawford versus Israel Masvidal go, Cole? You got knockout or you got decision?
After watching Earl Spence fall the way he fell, I'm going with the knockout, man.
You don't even know nothing about it. So you just like Masvidal is.
You know what it is. I'll keep it 100% with you, yo. There's certain boxers you don't even need to know who's on the other side. So I'm just letting you know it's gonna be a knockout, man.
It ain't matter who Tyson's fighting.
It didn't matter who Mayweather was fighting. Doesn't matter who Tank fight, and it don't matter who Crawford fight.
So what round? Knockout what round? This guy, man.
I'll give it to him in a 6.
6th round.
6th round.
So again, casual fan never watched my Masvidal fight. I mean, here's the thing.
Please play this back next week.
Here's the thing. No, I got Crawford winning, but I just know this guy he's fighting is he's no Earl. He's got great footwork. He's a great athlete. Mm-hmm. But I do have Crawford winning. You say knockout.
Knockout in 6.
In 6. Ro, what you got?
About the same. But maybe knockout by like 8.
8.
Yeah, the thing with TC, man, it's like I just don't think he's got this uncharted power differential. Now, I'm not sure how big that translates. How I can see him getting maybe as high as light heavy, maybe 175 at the end of the day, maybe after he sees his way on past.
So let me ask you this: I know Cole's answer. If he knocks this guy out at 154, is he ready for Canelo at 168?
I'm ready.
I think he's ready. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think his power probably bottoms out or tops out. I'd say, like I said, on the high estimate around like light heavyweight,
175.
Yeah, I think he's knocking boys out at 154. I mean, yeah.
And you base that off of, and again, I ain't talking to Cole because he always been saying this. I'm saying this to you, bro. Do you think just based on how he beat Errol Spence?
He's one of the top closers we got in the game right now. I think any way Majramov gets in any kind of trouble, Terrence Crawford is as good a finisher as Tank for sure. So it's like, yeah, I can see it. Anywhere there's blood in the water, TC will.
All right. I'm gonna go, man, listen, I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a knockout. I definitely know he's gonna win. It's just the fact of the matter. Well, I tell you what, I ain't gonna be stupid because I didn't think he could knock Earl out. I thought he would beat Earl. You know what I'm saying? But judging by what I've seen, Earl Spence gets all the way up to 160 on fight night. And here's the thing, man. Earl Spence tried to come back. I'm not sure if Earl Spence can come back. Like they say, he's physically unable to come back, and plus he doesn't have a trainer. He broke up with Derrick James. So the fact that Earl Spence physically is unable to come back, and again, I keep watching that fight, and I just cannot believe what he did to Earl Spence. I'm gonna go knockout too. I was messing with Cole, but when I really think about it, you know, him moving up from 135 to 140, he undisputed at 140. Okay. Then when he moved up to 147, he went on an 11-fight knockout streak, which he knocked out the number one guy at welterweight. So yeah, he's going up one division. I think he'll beat this guy. Does anybody beat Crawford? Anybody close to beating Crawford in the game?
I don't see it.
And not till you get up around 175, and
I don't think he'll fight that high. I think the closest person, and that's because I'm a fan, is Boots. I think Boots is a younger version, but I think Crawford's experience will beat Boots.
Where Boots fight at 168,
147.
Oh, he's fighting at welter.
Yeah. I think Crawford. I think Boots is a younger version of Crawford. I think Crawford's experience beats Boots, though.
I wouldn't come back down to fight him.
No, he's not. Boots is gonna move up because Boots is a bigger welterweight if they were to fight. But I don't see Crawford taking that fight. If I'm Crawford, why take that fight unless Boots moves up to 154 and gets a belt? I think Crawford could undisputed at 154. The question is if he wants to, because I know he wants that Canelo fight. Canelo is not sure yet. It's gonna have to be Turkey to offer that bag. Because what Canelo said is, if I beat Crawford, they're not gonna give me credit because he's small, you know, and I understand that. I think Crawford can beat Canelo. I don't think it'll be a knockout. I've never seen Canelo knocked out. Now we can sit here and say Terence Crawford is Superman. He is. I do think he can beat Canelo. I just don't think he'll knock him out. Yeah, if he knocks this guy out, I'd say go try to get the Canelo fight because 160 is bare. There's nobody at 160 to worth your time. I say you be ready for a Canelo Alvarez fight, or there's a couple of belts at 154 that you could pick up and keep adding to history. But I think this is a knockout, man. I think this is a knockout. I think Terence Crawford is the best boxer in the game. No disrespect to Tank, even to my favorite fighters, Boots, Ennis, and Shakur Stevenson. I think Terence Crawford, combination of power and speed, explosion, and his ability to finish fighters. Again, I'm gonna encourage all of y'all, man. We'll go back and watch that Earl Spence fight. It's still unbelievable to me what he did to Earl Spence. But anyway, let's wrap up, man. Let's give our shout outs. Now, I got to give a shout out to the GWOAT, Clarissa Shields, for scoring a second round TKO victory on Saturday night over Vanessa LePage Joints to win both the WBC. Check this out. Check this out. For anybody that doubts if she's the greatest woman of all time, that win Saturday night, she won the WBC World Heavyweight title and a WBO Light Heavyweight title. Her resume includes, check this out, the following: 2-time Olympic gold medal. She undisputed in 2 different divisions, unified in 3 and 4 division world champion. She went all the way up from heavyweight. She fought as low as 154 and moved up to heavyweight just this past weekend and become world champion. That is Roy Jones like moving up different divisions.
And might I add, did it very entertaining. Like,
knockout. Beam,
old school beatdown. Like, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Why she keep getting up? You know what I'm saying? Stay down. Stay down.
So in my mind, I know people say Layla Ali. Nobody has accomplished more. No shot at Layla Ali because I don't think she had the opportunity to move like Carissa, but collecting belts and accomplishment, I think she is the greatest woman of all time. Shout out to my man. Shout out to both Kevin Durant and LeBron James for their performances this past weekend for Team USA. LeBron, who is the oldest player to compete for Team USA, had the following stat line: 21 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists at 40 years old. And Durant, who kind of had Jason Tatum snubbed, came off the bench, finished with 23 points, 8 of 9 from the field, 5 for 5 3-pointers in 16 minutes. Do y'all know arguably Durant can be held as the greatest Olympian or Team USA player of all time?
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to them both, man, for putting it down. Cole, you got any shout outs?
I got a shout out to LeBron, man. I can't hate on him.
Yeah, because you've been hating on him since we was in college.
But I will say that he's definitely he looks great, man, and Team USA needs him, man. And shout out to Wemby in Paris, man. Them boys is balling out.
Yeah,
And
they
shout
are.
out to Canada, the other North American team that's actually doing their thing as well.
What you got, Ro, for your shout outs? You got any shout outs, man?
I think we about covered. Shout out to Team USA, men and women. You know what I mean? All the total Olympic bag. We've been waiting a long time, and I guess I'm just getting up 10 years. It's been kind of nice watching all the different sports.
Exactly, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. Nobody listens to
Hey,
me.
let me ask y'all all a question. Speaking of Olympics, would you rather have an Olympic gold medal or NBA title in basketball? You have to pick one.
I would rather have an Olympic gold medal. I mean, NBA title because we play more often.
It's the chip.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, more money goes along with chip. You got to play the gold medal and kind of work your jelly a little bit before lay that into something. You know, people, it's a lot more of them in pawn shops than you might think.
Man, shout out to
for wearing the flag.
7 p.m. in Brooklyn, right? That's the podcast with Carmelo Anthony and homie Mero. They had D Wade on there the other day. Similar topic came up.
Yeah.
And end of the day, niggas was like, bro, when you talk about Melo and all them dudes who didn't win,
they prefer chip.
We don't never bring up the fact that they got gold medals.
That's right. That's why I asked the question because I was thinking about Melo.
Bring up the fact that
Melo has got to be in the Hall of Fame. The only thing he didn't do was win a chip, but won a national championship.
He got four gold.
Tarasi, she won chips, but like she's won a lot of Olympic gold medals. That's why I say, which one would you rather have? I mean.
My business as an NBA player is to get the NBA chip.
See, I know, it was more money associated. I know anyway that I got to the bag and got to that down and holding that trophy, I got some money, ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, the gold medal, yes, you wear your country's flag, but at the end of the day, don't none of us belong to America no way. You know what I'm saying? Like America is kind of a misnomer. It's bittersweet. You know?
I will say, if I could change my answer only to individual sports, I would say the Olympics is bigger for individual sports. To say that you're the best in the world and that no one
boxing, right,
yeah, like, but I think when it comes to, yeah.
Nowadays they got
sports,
skateboard,
they got
in the middle,
break dancing,
and 3-on-3 basketball, which is crazy to me, man. But anyway, well, all right, man, that's another good episode. Shout out to the Most Serious family. Shout out to Cole all the way in New York, bringing that heat. Shout out to my man Rose sitting to the left, bringing that heat. And Chuck, don't forget, man, like Ro came up with something big today, man. We got to highlight that.
Oh, yeah. We don't call it Gang Green.
Yes,
sir.
Like the Jets a graveyard for the Green Bay Packers. But anyway,
and shout out to the Texans about to play Thursday Hall of Fame game.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is the first NFL action.
We play Caleb.
Yeah. So shout out to the Texans, man. The Hall of Fame game on Thursday. But shout out to everybody, man. Episode 40 of Debate with Big Podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Call in, please, next week or whenever we start back again. We're going to start with season 3 pretty soon. We will be at a different location. We will be remote. And some of these episodes coming up in season 3. We could be in a boxing gym. We could be in a garage. We could be in a basketball gym. But who knows? We might end up being at Reliance Stadium. But here's the thing, man. Debate with Bake, along with Most Serious, we're going to keep rolling and keep getting this paper and getting these views up. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. And give us our credit. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. We're going to keep rolling it out there for y'all to get it. You might want to get the bag right now because it might be too expensive later. Shout out to my man Chuck, the CEO, and the wheels of steels behind everything, behind that keyboard, behind that computer. And all the way from Mo City to New York, back to H-Town to Queens, back to 3rd Ward, all the way back to Brooklyn, swing through Buffalo, and all the way back to Reliance Stadium, baby. From the Jets to the Texans, we are out. From Debate with Bake Podcast, episode 40, season 2. We are out.
Peace.